And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Ooh, I hope you enjoyed that lovely Brutal OSC. Again, a very short break as we have returned with our quarterfinals match here in the PiGosaur Monday number 15. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Frostline, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Red Zerg. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player representing the Platinum Heroes. It is Nicoract. Here we go. I miss casting Nicoract. Again, Nicoract, of course, he is a very regular competitor when it comes to the online tournament circuit, but we have not been hosting our own online tournaments for the past couple of weeks. Again, we had the Ducklings Showdown, our show match series at the start of the year, and as a result, we have been having a couple of weeks off here in January, coming back at the end of the month, coming into 2025. So it's great to see Nicoract here once again as we do pop off with a 2x Reaper opener. Let's go. The Raxes have been placed, and Nicoract is opening up very aggressively. The goal here is to deny and delay and shut down the third expansion. Here we go. So this is going to be 2x Mass Reaper. I say Mass Reaper. We should only be making 3 Reapers initially. We could go up to 5 Reapers, depending on how hard Nicoract wants to commit, but no more than 5 here, as that would be the most that you would require to force a cancel on the third base if Dark does attempt to take it, despite the Reapers. So Nicoract is going to move out. Dark with his Overlord Scout should get eyes on the setup and should be able to confirm what's going on. It's going to be on Dark to confirm whether or not there's a third Rax in the main, as it is not uncommon to turn this into a 3-Rax, even more committed build, into 3-Rax Mass Reaper with a delayed third base to do even more damage. So again, Dark has to determine which one it's going to be. How committed is Nicoract? As the first Reaper does move out, Dark, he does confirm the 2x Reaper, and he should also confirm the third CC. Yeah, it does confirm, so he's fully aware of what's going on. Reaper dips in. Oh, also, before I forget, how could I, of course, Pappy, if you're in the chat, it's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chat as you predict for our Terran or our Zerg. As the Reaper has arrived, dancing with the Lings, second Reaper has made it as well, and you can see Nicoract, he's checking for 30s, checking for the expansion. No hatchery here towards the left-hand side, and there's no hatchery on the right-hand side either. Nicoract, he does confirm. Upon confirming, he should be cutting Reaper production. There it is. Add-ons are on the way. He does not require any additional Reapers. 3 is all he needs, but he makes a 4th Reaper, so a little bit of a middle ground here for Nicoract, but this does make sense because he's going up to 4 Reapers, and behind this, 3rd CC before factory. Very greedy. So it looks like he needs that extra Reaper here just to be safe, just to be secure. Trying to knock down that Queen. And the Queen is under fire. The Queen will up. Doesn't quite get it. Queen survives. Reapers are getting the hell out of here. Dark holds. Behind this, Link Speed is finishing up, and we have 20 Lings in production. Oh my god, a big response here by Dark. His goal is to surround these Reapers, shut them down, and potentially get some damage done across the map and deny Stim. That's the downside here of spawning on the left-hand side, is that the add-ons are exposed. Lings, they collapse in. They shut down the Reapers, all 4. And now it's go time. Now it's time to counterattack back at home. Bunkers on the way. Marines are amassing as well. Stim is in production. Nicoract going for his 3cc, 2-1-1. And what can Dark get done here? Does he have enough Lings to actually take down the add-ons? Ooh, not quite. Not with 6 Marines behind this wall. Nicoract holds. Nicoract holds. Dark, some of these Lings could have been drones at this point, so he has to re-drone, resaturate, getting his third base up running. At this point, I wouldn't be opposed to Dark double expanding. His third is late, so may as well get a 4th as well. We'll see how Dark does approach this. We'll see how he recovers. Ooh. This is not just a 3cc 2-1-1, by the way. We are working towards Stim and we're working towards Medivacs, but that is not a reactor. So typically we'd see a reactor on this factory to go for an add-on swap to get into some Hellions early on, then into some Medivac production. But this is early tanks. Very early tank production here from Nicoract. So he's building up his tank count early on. He will be delaying his Medivacs even further. He is setting up for a third base, don't get me wrong, but the eventual move out here by Nicoract is going to be hitting like a truck, as he'll be building up a lot of tanks. Now, this does mean that the 2-1-1 is going to be delayed. Again, because of the delay here for the starport production, it means that the army is going to be pinned back at home that much longer as Nicoract is building up. Meanwhile, it's going to be on Dark to respond, to keep up, to catch up, and to recover. Taking extra gases, going into double evo chamber, into double upgrades. Lair is on the way. Baliness as well. So it was Baliness into, sorry, it was Lair into Baliness into 1-1. Very safe response here by Dark, delaying his upgrades in favor of Banelings and Baneling speed. Baneling speed is on the way. So Dark just hyperfixated here on Ling Bane, which makes sense as he's up against a very bio-heavy composition. But again, as we are pointing out, because of the third CC, this is going to hit later. But Dark doesn't know. Dark, if he had seen the third CC, then he most likely would have delayed his tech, would have delayed his Baneliness in favor of faster upgrades, in favor of faster 1-1. As again, this move out is being delayed. Tank is revealed. Dark now expanding. Nicoract expanding. Dark will confirm. Third base now being taken. Dark throwing down infestation bits. I'm curious if this is for infestors. Burrow on the way. Let's go. Burrow in production. You love to see it. And Nicoract, he moves out. Rotating over towards the right hand side. Clearing up creep. Does pick up in time. Whew. Does pick up, does pull away. As he will lose, that's a full medevac, by the way. Full medevac of Marines go down. One small misstep and it can cost you everything. Nicoract moving out with another double drop. Again, just focusing on drop plays, still working towards 1-1, building up his tank count. Remember, earlier I did mention how early the tank production was, and now he's got 4, soon to be 5 tanks. Soon to be 6. And this is looking like a 3-base all-in. Yeah, he's A-raxing. Back at home, there are 8 Raxes, no add-ons here on the additional 3 Raxes. So it is going to be a 3-base A-Rax all-in with a heavy tank count. Nicoract, he's not going for a longer game. And Dark, he needs to recognize what's going on. For now, he's just keeping up with the drop play. And takes down a medevac full of Marines. But Nicoract is just setting up here for his push, clearing up as much creep as possible. Creep is receding. Nicoract, he gets caught out by the Banelings. And here comes the move out. Here comes a massive push. 1-1 is done. How many tanks? 5. 5, soon to be 6 tanks, making 12 Marines at a time. It's all or nothing for Nicoract. Meanwhile, at the same time, here comes a big lane run by. Going for the third CC. Queens are going down. Nicoract, I believe he should bring down this expansion. Darky's racing back home. Mineral Line gets caught out. Massive losses. And Dark, he didn't take down the SCVs. Yeah, a bit of a misstep here from Dark. Now he does get the Mineral Line. Nicoract sieging up. He's pushing towards the natural. If he can take control of the natural, he can take control of the game. He is close to breaking Dark here and now. As Dark, he was taking into Hive into Ultras. Now is not the time. Not against a 3-base all-in. Things are collapsing from behind. Nice collapsing on top of the tanks. Tank's going to be going down. Big Bailey connections. And Dark holds. Darky surrounds the army, shuts it down. Darky is holding, but here comes the second wave. Nicoract, he's not out of this yet. Still has a terrifying army. But a lot of that army supply is in medevacs. Not in Marines, not in tanks. Army gets spotted. Shaving off some Lings. Dark pulling back. And he gets away with the Hive. He gets away with the Ultras. Did lose the Mineral Line, did lose a base. He's going to be losing 2 bases, 2 hatcheries, and a Mineral Line. Can Dark hold? Oh! Darky collapses in, catches out some of the Marines. Ooh, unable to though. Hopping up, saves everything. Nicoract going for a split push. Darky responds in time. Dark overextends. At the same time, though, catching out the bio. A couple of Marines go down. Darky holds, he pulls away. Once again, gets into the mineral line, denying more mining time, and Darky needs time here for those ultras. At this point, the ultras are his saving grace. Because remember, because it's a 3-base all-in, it's pure, I mean, at this point, 2.5-base all-in, but it's purely Marine tank. There's no Marauders, there's no Ghosts, there's no nothing. Whether he would have teched up into Lurkers or into Ultras, or into even Infestors, is a way to shut this down. Massively counterattack once again. Collapsing in the army. Catching what little workers are left. And Darky evacuates the base. 5th base is going to go down. More SCVs do fall. Darky's racing back out. Oh, the Ultra! Ultra bumps out. He is cleaned up. Expensive loss there for Dark. As Darky pulls away, getting ready for the surround. Ultras have arrived there. Queens to transfuse. He has transfuse. And there we go. He keeps the Ultras alive. GG gets called. Darky shuts down the all-in just barely. And Dark takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Oh my god. GG. Well played. Again, a terrifying build there out of Nicoract, going for the 2 Rax Reaper into 362-1-1 into early tank production into a 3-base all-in. Did hit like a truck, but Dark, thankfully, he was able to get behind the army, eviscerate the economy time and time again. He hit that mineral line, was able to delay or even weaken the all-in. Nicoract, he got a lot of damage. He got a lot of damage done. He was able to take down 3 bases, able to take down the mineral line as well, but he barely did not make his way into the natural. He wasn't quite able to go for the killing blow, and with that, Dark, he survives. Dark takes game 1. Dark does take game number 1. And now we're getting into game number 2. We'll see what else Nicoract has in store. Again, typically, this is what we expect out of Nicoract. Oh. Go. As looks like we're being joined by our other casters here. Settle in. Oh yeah, typically Nicoract, he is an aggressive player. Usually he is the one to go all in and be in your face and commit in such a way. Whether it's 2-base all-ins, 3-base all-ins, that is what we expect from Nicoract. And hey, he can take down some of the best players in the world with that style. And we'll see what he has in store for us here in game 2. I'm curious. I am curious. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado, we have the red Terran player for the Platinum Heroes down in the series, but we'll see if we can make a series out of this and fight back and force the ace match. It is Nicoract. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg leading the series 1-0. It is Dark. And as we settle in, a big shout out to Bombcool in the chat. Thank you so much for subscribing for 4 months. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoy the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you so much. Welcome to the PiGosaur Monday. If you're just tuning in, we are here in the quarterfinals, and this is leading into the semifinals as well. We've been joined by some of the other casters. It looks like Hero versus Nice has concluded, and we have the lower semifinals ready for us. We have a Hero waiting for the winner of this series, waiting for either Nicoract or Dark. One or the other. And again, we're going to be following this into those lower semifinals, and it still looks like the upper matches are a little bit more delayed, so because of that, we will be catching up and most likely casting both semifinals. Oh boy. ¿Por qué no los dos? As Dark, as Dark, he does go for a gasless opener. He goes into the natural, into spawning pool, into mining through those gold minerals, into a third base. Now, we've spoken about this before, but these gasless openers are very map dependent, very much so. El Dorado is a map where you can embrace this earlier third base in such a manner. Very greedy build here by Dark, but this is one of those more viable maps to pull this out on. The reason for this, as you can imagine, typically when you rush into a third base like this, you are vulnerable to Hellion and Reaper harass because you don't have any speedlings. Remember, no gas means no link speed, so you have a hard time rotating between the bases. But here on El Dorado, how do you harass? How do you harass this location? The Terran player has to mine through mineral patches. They have to mine through these patches here or these patches here to be able to actually threaten the base. If they do not, and even if they do, because the attack paths are so direct, because they're so obvious, it is easy for these overlords to be in position and for Dark to respond and rotate with purely queens. With queens and these slowlings. One drone goes down, big pickoff here for Nicoract, does pull away, and we'll see if Nicoract can punish the greed of Dark. Again, this is an opener that you can go for that is viable on El Dorado, on Neon Violet Square, on Abyssal Reef, on King's Cove. These are maps where you can afford to cut corners, be greedy, and skip link speed. Now, in the mid-game, this leads into roaches. This leads into later gases, into a Roach Warren, into Roach Play. Doesn't have to lead into purely Roach Ravager. It can lead into Ling Bane Roach Ravager instead. But we'll get there. Meanwhile, aggressive. Oh my god. Okay. Interesting. We do have a third CC before Starport, but the third CC has been placed closer here to the natural to float over into the linear third. Okay, so economic build here by Nicoract. He's going to be opening up economically, getting to his Adam Swap into Hellion Banshee. But Nicoract, he has not mined through these mineral patches, which means he is focusing and he can only harass this center location, this one ring. That is all that Dark has to hold. There it is, Roach Horns on the way, as we did mention. Gas is now being taken. Now Dark is droning up, saturating his bases. Nicoract does not find a way in, but again, he's at least following this up with Banshees, and the Banshees have potential for harassment. We have more Hellions on the way as well, just to potentially even deny mining here at the gold, as Darky rushes from the third right into the gold as well. Lair is now on the way. That'll be for Roach speed, and has Dark even made any Roaches? The answer is no. So greedy here. Dark, he's defending with purely slowlings and a handful of queens. No Roach production whatsoever. Rushing into a lair, rushing into a fourth base. Is he going to be punished? So here comes Nicoract. Yeah, he's busting in. He does bust through. Does at least attempt to, but the queens, they get her in time. They fully wall up, and Dark holds. Again, Dark, he's known for his queen defense. He pulled every single queen here to defend. He holds the ramp, and with that, he gets away with his greed. And now, double Evo Chamber. Now we get Roach production. And the pressure is on Nicoract. There we go. Nicoract, he does mine through those mineral patches. He does finally gain access to the southern half. But the Roaches have arrived. Roaches are here. Banshees at the same time headed towards the third base. There is a Spore. Spore in the third, Spore in the main, Spore at the natural. There is detection. Means they keep up. Cloak was not researched for Nicoract. Bear that in mind. There is no Cloak. Hellions once again diving in, but this time the Roaches are here. This time it's not just the Queens, it's the Roaches as well. They keep up, they deflect. +1 range on the way. For now, it is going to be Roach Ravager. This should lead into +1 melee as a follow-up into Ling Bane. If not, we could see just a heavier commitment here into just pure Roach Ravager. The mineral line! Ooh, the mineral line is exposed. Dark, he's late to rotate. Drones are going down. Finally, some damage. 8 to 10, up to 11 workers falling. Very nice damage here from Nicoract. He finally gets the damage he's been hoping for. He's not done. Getting another drone and another. 13 worker kills on the Banshees, they get away. Now, this damage is good, but the problem is, 1, Dark has 70 drones, 2, gold base. This gold base, the fact that this 4th is a gold makes up for those losses. It means that Dark, he has a boosted income. Despite losing those workers, he can afford those losses here. And he's rushing into another gold base as well. That's the other terrifying thing here about El Dorado is these gold bases. Bases that Nicoract hasn't embraced himself, and that Dark has. So again, because of the gold bases, the damage that was dealt is not quite good enough. It's good, but we need more. Meanwhile, yeah, there is Link Speed is on the way, Nidus Swarm as well. Link Speed should be for, again, those melee upgrades as a follow-up, assuming that we are going into Link Bane. Oh, my apologies, I did miss the Infestation bit. Nidus Swarm plus Infestation bit, that screams Swarm Host, and Swarm Hosts are on the way. Now, we saw this last night as well in a Dark series against Cure. If you missed out on it, I recommend the VODs, but we casted Dark versus Cure on El Dorado, and a reason why Nidus play is so good here is, as you can see here, because of the terrain. This entire section is blocked off, so the Nidus is safe and sound. Would you see that Nicoract, he thankfully does spot this, but he can't deny it. Outside of drop play, how does he get on top of that Nidus? How does he shut it down? He doesn't. So the Swarm Hosts are safe, and they can just pop off here into the main. You see Nicoract trying to just wave mine through those middle patches. Locust Wave, they do collapse on the SCVs, trading with the Marines. Oof. As all the Marines go down on the low ground. And they only get 1 SCV. Still though, good value. Dark into the main. Goes for another Nidus. Another Nidus is on the way. Nicoract, he doesn't notice! No! He doesn't quite notice. He is distracted. The Nidus is going to finish. And Nicoract, he's out of position. Nidus does complete. Swarm Host Locust Wave about to be ready here in a couple of seconds. And again, late response, late reaction. Oh, the whole position changelings! As the E-Bays are denied, upgrades are going down, and Nicoract, he's committed. He does knock down the 4th. 6 drone kills on the expansion. E-Bays do full, denying 2-2. Now, they're coming from behind. They get on top of the tanks. Tanks, they get surrounded. The rest of the Roaches, they trickle in. And Dark holds. Dark, he defends across them. He killed both E-Bays and 10 SCVs. Oh. Nicoract, though. Not quite. Does drop in, but won't quite be able to deny the expansion. Dark, he holds. He does hold. He did lose a 4th base. Remember, he has a backup gold. He has another gold. He's on 80 workers. Dark, he's maxed out. And here comes the 3rd Locust Wave. 3rd wave of Locust here towards that natural. Move commanding forward, though. Not able to get too much done. Much better defense. At the same time, that's going to be a kill on the expansion, not a cancel. Nicoract, he's still in this. Still very much. Oh no! Oh god! Oh no! Oh god! The mayhem, the vials. Not like this, papi. Medevacs, they go down to the vials. Ay ay ay. And here comes Dark. Dark, he's pushing forward. He gets some of those Marines. Who needs Link Bane when you have purely Roach Ravager? And he did go into that +2 upgrade, +2 range. I mean, not melee. Commits into range, commits into now Hydras as they follow up into Lurker Tech if he needs it. And Dark, he snowballs out of control. GG gets called, and Dark, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. I feel like this game is a good example as to why I was surprised to see that El Dorado did not get vetoed in the best of 3. Because Dark, he's so willing to be so greedy and so wild as well. For Dark to commit into, of course, to commit into a gasless opener. Gasless opener initially to be able to cut corners, to be able to rush into the 4th base as a gold, 5th base as a gold as well, and to embrace Nidus Swarm Host, just because the map does favor that kind of style. And we're just all over Nicoract. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Dark will advance on into the semifinals, and if you recall, we already had a player waiting for him in those semis. It is going to be a best of 3 match between Dark and Hero. Oh boy. Dark has been looking dominant here in these earlier rounds, but now he's up against, I would say, a favorite player. Hero and Dark, they have history, of course. They have played many times here in online tournaments, whether it's the semis and the grand finals as well, even in earlier rounds for certain events. And Hero does have a winning record. He does have a winning record against... Sorry, Hero has a winning record against Dark. We saw these two face off last night. Hero did take Dark down. But just because one player has a winning record doesn't mean it's like 100% win rate. I would say it's like 60-40. It's quite close between Hero and Dark, and we do often see them make a series out of this. I'm hoping for a back and forth, and we'll see if Dark this morning can get his revenge from last night. Let's go. Let us go as vetoes are underway.